What up? This is Robert Horry.
Horry, three-pointer. Buries it!
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Horry for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Horry from downtown.
Oh, goodness. Let's call it episode 155 of the Big Shot Bob podcast. B-Dog Brandon Harper. I'm Rob Jenners. That, of course, 7-time NBA champion, Robert Horry. How are you, man?
Coming off a high. What are you
talking about coming off a high?
They state champs again.
Oh,
Christian
that's right.
Back.
Oh, my God. What am I talking about? That's right. Yeah, I did see that.
They went back
Congratulations,
to back, man.
That's freaking awesome.
You know, it's so great for them, man. You know, you went state, last year, and you went state again this year. But the problem is, it's amazing how many grown men come out of woodworks and talk about a program they know nothing about. They talk about we got transfers. We have no transfers. Everybody starts like, in the 8th and 9th grade. It's not like we can recruit because Harvard Westlake is number 3 in the country academically. So everybody just can't come in there and just fit in. It's not like one of these schools that, we're going to give you these easy classes, but it's hard. And these guys, they fought. They had a tough trail, and so many people were hating on them, from refs to players to parents to everybody, man. They went back to back to win it. I'm proud of those guys, man. They worked hard and they deserve it, man. And I don't think people understand the hard work and the sacrifice those guys have to put in just because of the educational aspect, because that ain't no easy school. Number 3 in the country academically?
No.
That's big time.
Yeah. Congratulations, man. That's dope. But I do admire the fact that you're playing coy about, you're a member of the media. You don't understand why people come out of the woodwork, start talking shit about stuff they don't understand. That's literally the media's job nowadays. Run your mouth about shit you don't know about.
It is so funny.
I've been doing it on this show for 3 years. What are we doing?
It's like, they got a team full of transfers. We don't. We just got some hardworking dudes. And Coach Dave Rebo, man. There's a lot of people don't like him because he's hard on the kids, but look at the results. I don't like coaches who like to stroke kids. Like, it's okay. No, let them know they made a mistake and make them own up to it. It's about growing up and being responsible young men and becoming responsible adults.
Yeah. No, dude, anytime you can climb the mountain, and especially in a highly competitive setting like that, dude, it's huge.
And Open is the largest division in California. Think about that. Yeah. That's all of California. It's the Open division.
So what's next for Chris? Like, what's the next steps for him? That's it? He's out? This is it? He's done? Okay. I didn't know if he had, is he going to play there over the summer? Is he going to work out? Like, what's kind of the agenda?
Yeah, I'm telling him he needs, since he's, UCLA is right down the street, he needs to go there and get associated, get affiliated with all the staff, the players, work out with them in the summertime.
Sure.
Build a rapport. And then also, if you can, just, walk the campus. That way he'll know about campus. He know what classes are and get a lay of the land.
Okay. Good. That's awesome.
Because I ain't going to lie, when I got to Alabama, I was lost like a mother. I was like, where that class at? Where am I doing?
So do y'all live closer to UCLA than USC?
We live closer to USC than UCLA.
Okay.
But it's only like a 10-minute difference. So
got it. Cool.
Why don't you give us your home address real quick on the show so we can...
Okay. It's 777 Andy Way.
Yeah. You're giving out somebody's address you don't like. I'm not. Somebody Google where Robert Horry lives right now.
777 Andy Way. That's
okay.
I know Andy Way, I said that because I went to Andalusia, so that's Andy Way was a school.
Andalusia.
You would go to high school and be like, what the hell? This ain't Robert Horry's house.
Hey, what is going on here? Yeah. We were in Alabama this past weekend. My daughter had dance competition. I was thinking about you.
What part?
Oh, we were in Birmingham.
Okay. My mom was in Birmingham.
Oh, was she really? Well, we could have crossed paths at some point and taken her out for lunch or something.
My little niece, she had a basketball tournament there. They lost. She came in third. So
it's a cool city.
Yeah, it's cool. I love Birmingham. Did you go by Dreamland?
No, it didn't.
Hey, go to Dreamland Barbecue.
No, we did
Come
not.
on, man.
No, we didn't have any time, man. Look, I'm a dance dad, so I end up just like carrying bags of makeup and costumes and shit to competitions and sitting somewhere and waiting to be told what to do and then getting up and going to do the thing I'm being told to do. So that's how the women in my life rule the roost these days. But we stayed in there was some old ass hotel. It's called the Kelly downtown. Nice hotel, renovated. Got to be haunted as shit, though. Like, it's one of those old, like, I've never seen this in a hotel. They had a 13th floor, and it was called the 13th floor. And I'm like, most hotels don't do that. Most hotels just go 12 to 14. It's like a superstition thing. Now, granted, yes, the 14th floor is still actually the 13th floor. It's kind of smoke and mirrors. They didn't care. They were just like, 13, go nuts. They were like, I'm like, hey. And, like, it's all that old architecture, and there's, like, old carvings behind coming off the walls, and oh dude, it was the whole time I was there I was like, this place haunted as shit. Haunted shit. By the way, speaking of media members that maybe don't know what they're talking about, I will mention Skip Bayless real quick off the top because we do have some Lakers stuff to talk about.
Boy, if this was a football podcast, we have a lot to talk about too.
Oh well, we can get all that, man. We'll hit some.
We'll be here 5 hours talking about all that shit in football.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll hit some NBA shit. We'll circle back to Kirk Cousins getting the deal of his lifetime in Atlanta here. And then there's free agency too, off the rails in the NFL right now. Skip called the Lakers the deepest team in the West. I'm not 100% sure where he's pulling that from. And it's not a shot at the Lakers, but we talk about the Lakers a lot because you work on the broadcast. You're very closely related to what's going on with that team. The deepest team in the West?
I know why he's saying that, because if you go to certain teams, you're going to go maybe 3 deep on the bench. The Lakers can technically go 5 or 6 deep. You got Vando, who's hurt, Christian Woods that's hurt, So I see what he's saying with that.
Okay.
But I still think, there's a lot of other teams that got, about the same. So I wouldn't just put, Lakers up there. Lakers might have maybe one more that I would say that's better than other people's benches.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's looking strictly at paper.
Mm-hmm.
You have the bodies there. There are actual bodies there that make that team deep enough. But it all comes down to what happens on the floor. Because you can have a deep team, but if you can't get the necessary production out of the guys that you need, when either LeBron or AD are on the bench or both of them are on the bench, what kind of production are you getting from those guys that make this a deep team? So, yeah, the Lakers are a deep team. Cool. Yeah. Where is that depth going to get them if they can even get into the playoffs? What is that going to look like? So it's a very shallow and vague statement. We said that from the beginning when they made the signings this offseason that the Lakers were a deep team. We've been there. It doesn't matter right now until there's some level of production that shows that their depth can get them over the hump.
Yeah.
And you mentioned AD. He had a night the other night.
Ooh.
27 points, 25 boards, 5 assists, 7 steals, 3 blocks against the Timberwolves. Damn.
Yeah, that was nice.
D'Angelo Russell had a night too against the Bucks.
He's had a few nights.
Hung 44 on the Bucks. I was like, shit.
Yeah, the crazy part, the Lakers they look great. Think about them. They look great against Sacramento in the first quarter. Next thing you know, Sacramento went 12 for 12.
Yeah.
He raced that real quick. And then the next night, Sacramento loses to Houston. It's like this NBA season is so crazy. You got so many teams getting beat. You don't think they'll get beat. You got teams like we ain't going to talk about the Wizards, how terrible they are. Then they finally get off their losing streak. But the Lakers have been, think about it. The teams they beat in the last month. It's like, okay, this is a team that you expected from day one, but you don't get the same consistency. Some nights they look like world beaters. Some nights they look like they're going to get beat by anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here's the thing. And the Lakers are in this stretch where it's a brutal stretch. Yeah. But on the flip side, they're all in California minus 1 game. So
it's like an East Coast schedule.
Right. So you're not even staying west. You're in your state because most of those games are at home. So you're in that stretch where you may be going through the gauntlet, but you're at home. So those are really winnable games, being able to catch teams off. Some teams are back-to-backs.
Yeah.
Some teams are, hobbling a little bit. Every game counts when it comes to you keeping yourself in the play-in, or even possibly hoping other teams fall to where you can pull yourself up out of the play-in and into a playoff spot. So right now, from since the All-Star break into the end of the season, it's playoff basketball for the Lakers before the playoffs even start.
Yeah. They got a little tough little schedule coming up. If you look at the next 10 to 15 games, the Sixers don't have their crew. The Bucks again. Timberwolves, we don't know what's going to happen with that crew. And then the Pelicans, everybody else, I'm not going to count the Warriors or the Cavs. They got a tough little schedule, but they should make some headway here and move up if they do what they're supposed to do, and get out of that play-in game, because they don't need to play one more game, because they already done that with the in-season tournament, and they old and tired.
I don't know. I don't know where my faith lies right now. Like, I still have a glimpse of hope, but then at the same time, it withers quite often.
As long as they're not in the same bracket with Denver, I trust in them. But if they're in the same bracket with Denver, and if they can meet Denver at the end of the Western Conference Finals, they'll be fine. If they meet Denver early, they're going home, because they don't play as hard as Denver do.
Oh, Mike Malone don't care.
They can't beat Denver for nothing.
They don't play hard enough against Denver. If you watch Jokic, man, other night when Jokic plays, you see how he just threw down Porzingis to the floor and dunked, and the refs let him do whatever he wants to do. He just beats people up and gets away with it. That's how AC used to do people. That's how Robin used to do people. And they said, that's just the way he play. I'm like, dude, he just be beating people up, pushing them out of the way.
He's a big physical player. Use it, man.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Throw them elbows, push some guys down. By the way, you talked about, you mentioned a couple of our next couple stories here, just kind of in passing, but in the vein of the weird NBA season, can one bad week ruin an MVP campaign? Because Jayson Tatum hadn't had the greatest week. I don't think you can really count this against his body of work, but he started the Celtics 5-game trip shooting 38% from the field. He missed the game winner against Cleveland. After the Celtics blew a 22-point advantage. He bricked a wide-open three to take the lead in the final minute of the loss to Denver. And then in Phoenix, a game that they won, he went 11 for 28. And he said, thankfully, I finally stopped turning the ball over. And thank God for teammates, because I've been not great this last week. But I've seen a lot of people just go, that's it for Jayson. Nice try. Better luck next year. And I'm like, for a few bad games?
The bad part about it, he wasn't going to win it anyway, because he had no hype. And I don't even think the Celtics were hyping him up.
I'll tell you, though, I feel like the last few weeks that hype has built a little bit around him.
Yeah, because
the conversations heated up a little, and then it got real cold real fast.
Yeah, it's like, okay, let's talk about it. I'm like, damn it, y'all talking about me doing a stretch, I'm playing bad, but you have a lot of guys that go through that stretch. I know the highest guy in the NBA right now is Luka, but their team is, up and down. So right now, I have no clue who my MVP will be. After the couple of blocks by Ant-Man, the almost dunk on AD, I'm moving towards Ant-Man, but because he's just been playing his ass off. But at the end of the day, it's probably going to be Jokic again.
I mean, I had Jayson Tatum up there. I mean, it was a little quiet. They have been the best team in basketball.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's the focal point of all of that. So he's going to be in the front running of the MVP. Ant-Man, obviously, right there, because they teeter between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
SGA is up there. Shai Gilgeous, he's there just for what he's been able to do. It's going to come down to those three. I don't think Jokic is going to win it again.
You don't?
I don't. I think it'll be somebody else this year. Not saying that he won't win it next year, but I don't know if he's going to end it, because that'll be 3 in a row?
No,
because Embiid. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, okay, so it'll be 3? If he wins this year, it'll be 3
in the last 4 years. Yeah.
I don't.
Hey, the NBA is kind of shy about making someone an MVP that many times in a certain time period.
This is true.
Yeah. You think about Jordan, you think about Kobe, Shaq, all these Dirk, all these good guys who won MVPs that could have won it multiple years. Steph, so you can go on and on and name the people.
There's tons of guys. Yeah. I mean, arguably Jordan could have won it almost every year he played in the damn league. I mean,
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know. I think it's going to come down to one of those.
Who's your top
guys.
2? Don't think with your heart.
I'm gonna go.
Rob, you thinking?
I'm thinking, because I'm trying to think who my top two would be.
I'm gonna go. I really probably am gonna go Tatum and Ant-Man.
Oh, wow. I had a totally different top two.
Just for the simple fact of where they have their teams, especially Ant-Man. And it's really gonna show with Karl Anthony Towns out. So
True.
If he really wants to strengthen his MVP campaign,
He's got to go to work right now.
he gotta act a fool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, for the same reason, though, I was leaning towards Shea because of the year that Oklahoma City's had, what he's done for that team.
Yeah.
And then God, I hate it, but he's right. How do you keep Jokic out of the conversation? It's just,
I don't want to
too
keep them
damn
out.
hard, right? But I mean, when you
know.
look at the numbers and you look at the dominance and the record, and it's
know.
just when you put all things equal on the table, it has nothing to do about how sick we are of him being the MVP or being in the conversation or the front runner for it. Because even though Embiid won it last year, he very well should have won it. I mean, we talked about it before. Those years should have been flip flopped. I mean, that was
guess what?
Jokic's award last year.
He'll mess around, not win the MVP. He'll be like, okay, cool,
Great.
go and win the title and win Finals MVP.
Sure.
So now what's up?
Yeah, split the diff. Yeah, who cares? Keep your league MVP. I'll take my ring. Yeah.
See, I don't even put Tatum in there because there's not enough hype. It's about what people talk about. Think about it. They don't even talk about him. They talk more about the Greek Freak than they do Tatum winning MVP in the East.
True.
And for me, I just think it's just a clear-cut Jokic because they keep saying it. The press, a lot of these guys who vote don't even fucking watch basketball. What are we talking about? Who, Jokic? Okay, I'm going to go with Jokic. It's bad, And so it's probably going to go down to Jokic and Luka, because Luka is,
well,
quietly
Luka's getting
killing
all
it.
the hype right now just because. And like, what does that do? I might be going off the rails here, and I'm talking out of my ass. Surprise, I'm in the media. What does that do for a team when you have somebody like Luka playing the way he's playing? Because he's just everything I see from him. The numbers are great, but he's so ball dominant that it's just like, to me, it's like, God, that's got to just rub people the wrong way in Dallas sometimes.
Well, if you really look at it, it's the same thing with Shea. Shea is so ball dominant. Anybody
I don't
who
get
shoots
that
a lot of
feeling
free throws,
watching him though.
Yeah, because he's not as slow as Luka, and it looks like he's holding it much longer because Luka is so slow with it. But I just think you think about anybody that's ball dominant. You think when James Harden won the MVP, he was ball dominant. If you really think of when Giannis, when he's Jokic is ball dominant, but he just moves the ball quicker. I think those guys. I don't think Shea, because Shea, I don't think he has enough hype behind him. OKC, the small market. I don't think he has enough hype behind him to win, even though he's playing on that level.
Oh, 100%.
It's just like he's not ready yet. I don't think the NBA is ready to give it to him.
Do we want to touch on the Gobert fine? Holy cow.
What was $100,000?
$100,000 for flashing the money sign at the ref. Joe Dumars announced the penalty. I'm trying to let me see if I get the quote right. Inappropriate gesture and public criticism of officiating during the game against the Cavaliers. Can I just say, calm down. All right, NBA, calm down. We've had far more egregious offenses by coaches and players this year than this. Stop. Just stop. Everybody's in their feelings. And the minute you even insist. Now, he gets hit with $100,000. You got Ty Lue basically telling the refs that they're cheaters off the floor. You got coaches bringing highlights to press conferences to show you how bad the officiating is. But this gets $100,000? Calm down. Yeah. Just calm down with this. Stop.
I think the part, because you got to think about what's had happened in the NBA. What's the guy who got kicked out of the NBA? The ref?
Yeah.
Whatever
Flannery.
his name.
Why am I spacing on his name?
I'm spacing on his name too.
I don't know. My brain is cooked today.
That guy. But then you think about how much betting is involved in basketball now. Not just all sports. So I think the NBA is really self-conscious about,
Donaghy.
Yeah.
Tim Donaghy.
Really self-conscious about that. So, you nip something in the bud real quick, you send out a hefty fine. This is one of the things I told with like all these guys who talk crazy to refs, nip that shit in the bud. So many things that they don't nip in the bud that I think they should, especially how crazy these guys talk to refs now. Nip that in the bud, find their asses, and I guarantee they won't do it again.
Okay, that's fine, but keep it consistent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Most of these hits have been 25, 30 grand, and then all of a sudden this gets you 100 G?
Yeah, especially when a ref calls you certain names. And you can do this all day to me. I don't care if I'm a ref. But when you call me the B word or the F word or anything like that's more degrading to a person. Fine them $100K for that shit. That's what they should do.
I think they're a little too overly sensitive.
Oh, of course.
What was that? Just a few games ago, DeJounte Murray got a tech he was walking back over to the bench, sat down. One of the refs, the refs who has no tolerance at all, I forget his name, but you just look at his face and know that he has no tolerance for anything. I guess he was walking back trying to explain something to him. DeJounte looked uninterested, gave him one of those. Tech.
See, I didn't agree with Doubting it. That's the same ref. I can't think of his name. That's the same ref when the guy came up to us and he was yelling in his face and he did this. Like, go to your bench. And that's the same thing that Murray did to him. And he gave him it's like the inconsistency is the biggest problem that I think all the players have. Be consistent with what you're going to do and just don't hey, you're going to treat everybody the same, man. That's I know everybody's not the same, but when you're taking money out of people's pockets, you're going to find someone like, let's say, JoJo over here who's only making league minimum. You're going to hit him with a tech. Where you get someone like LeBron who's making the most and not hitting with a tech for the same, same things.
I'm trying to look up the name of the ref.
Tony
of
Brothers.
The ref.
Tony Brothers.
Yep.
There it is. Tony Brothers. Sorry, I was doing the same thing. I'm like, Google knows. I don't. Google's smarter than me.
Yeah.
It knows the name of the ref. I just thought 100 grand for that though.
Yeah.
Dude, come on. All right, a couple more NBA, basketball stories.
Question though.
Oh, go ahead.
Since he did that, do you think they says fuck him? We ain't giving him Defensive Player of the Year.
Who are you talking about?
Gobert.
After the NBA as a whole, that one little thing like that.
Them holding that against him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, they shouldn't. Whether or not they do,
I have no idea. Player of the Year anyway, but I'm just saying.
They shouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. How has there not been more egregious shit this year in the NBA? You're going to hold that against him? I was not big on the Gobert thing when it happened with him leaving Utah and going to Minnesota. I really was like, all right, this isn't going to be that big of a deal. He deserves to be in that conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. He very well, an argument could be made that he might be one of the few guys in the league that deserves it flat out to win it. But if they don't give it to him because of this, give me a valid reason. He didn't get it for this, and this player got it for X reason.
I couldn't give it to anybody. I can't give it to anyone when the fucking playoffs roll around. You can't get on the fucking floor because everybody's going at you defensively. That lets you know you're not.
That's a different part of the conversation. That's a different part of the conversation.
I don't like, and we've seen this before when it comes to guys acquiring well-deserved accolades. Or them not getting it because of how somebody feels about that person. We said the same thing about T.O., when it came to him getting into the Hall of Fame. And I'm like, writers and people don't want to vote him in because of something that he may have said to them in the past, or a story that he did not give them, a clip he didn't give them, the way that he treated people, whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. I'm sorry. He's not going into the Hall of Fame because he's just this nice person. He's supposed to be going in for the simple fact of what he did on the field. And your emotions and how you feel about him personally should have nothing to do with that. And I can't stand people who can't put that to the side and look at the numbers and say, regardless of how I feel about him as a person, the man is a surefire Hall of Famer. And I hate people who won't give people awards because of how they feel. It sucks. I don't care. You ain't gonna like everybody. And I'm not saying that he's right. Get a man what he deserves. If he deserves it.
I don't know what world you live in that actually applies, but yes, you're right. You're not wrong. I'm just saying, God, that isn't the case.
No.
Should it be the case? Absolutely. Yeah. That's how you judge someone for who they are and what they've done. but not how they made you feel. I don't give a crap.
At least in
you don't
sports.
like a guy. So be it. Screw it. What did he do on the field? Did he deserve
especially
it?
in sports, and especially in sports, because we're not here. Like I know as working in media, I'm not gonna like every player. Every player is not gonna like me. But I also know as a person with common sense, if I had a vote to determine who gets a certain award, I'm not gonna let how I feel about somebody. Oh, he didn't give me an interview, or he wouldn't talk to me. Get over it, because now you make it more about you than what it is really supposed to be about. Stop crying.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times, sometimes people forget that athletes, they have bad days too, just like everybody else.
They do.
All celebrities do. I mean, come on. But I mean, it's unfortunately people get judged largely by that experience.
One moment, yeah.
That experience. Mm-hmm. And you're right, B. Should have counted. No, but it will. Oh, it will. Because we love to grind axes in this society today, man. Holy cow.
You remember 10 years ago when you spoke to me that type of way, when it's time for you to come up to be a finalist for the Hall of Fame? Yeah. I'm not going to vote for you.
Mm-hmm. That'll show you. By the way, you just described the entire roster of the baseball writers of America. Because every time they vote on the Hall of Fame, it's all about how their personal feelings got in the way. This guy was mean to me when I was in St. Louis, so he's not getting a vote.
I would love to know that one guy who didn't vote for Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, who
the hell are you? What are you doing?
Right?
Yeah, give me a reason, a valid reason. No chance.
I'm still, every time I think that he wasn't the first unanimous person ever, I'm like, what the fuck were you doing that they smoking one or just didn't vote?
Yeah, no. It's again all about personal feelings. Let me ask you about this one. Speaking of personal feelings,
yeah, exactly.
I do want to play. I got two pieces of audio. We skipped one. I'm going to come back to it in a second, but I do want to play two pieces of audio for you. And then we got stats of the week, big shot of the week, and we're going to play a game that my fifth grader brought to us, which we talked about briefly before we started. All right, Brian Windhorst. I got Windhorst this week on ESPN saying this about Allen Iverson's game.
But if you go look at the way he played a lot of minutes and just chucked a lot of shots. And if 41% of them went in, it was considered a good job. That would not fly in today's game.
Well, good old Brian Windhorst caught a whole big fat mountain of shit for talking about Allen Iverson that way on ESPN.
Can I say something real quick?
Oh, please
go ahead, man. You go.
All due respect to Brian Windhorst, because he does a decent job.
I feel like there's no love lost here for Rob and Brian Windhorst. We'll come back to that. Go ahead.
Hey, bro, you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to this. And for somebody who has literally based a lot of their career off just following around LeBron James, relax. And Rob talked about guys who don't watch basketball. There ain't no way in hell you think somebody like Allen Iverson wouldn't fly in today's league where they take more bad shots in today's league than they ever did in any era. His game is a lot of people, if it wasn't for AI, they wouldn't be who they are. Let's look at Kyrie. All these guys with handles, all these dudes that play like they're small two guards but are masquerading as point guards. Yeah, where do you think they got a lot of that from? And if you want to talk about his shooting percentage, somebody else shooting percentage they talked about a lot like that? Kobe. How you feel about Kobe Bryant? Let's talk. If we're going to talk, let's talk. But if you're going to say some stupid stuff like that, bro, keep your mouth shut and just let us know when LeBron decides to move on to somewhere else.
LeBron had waffles for breakfast. We're having waffles for breakfast from Windhorst.
It's just weird because I used to watch a lot of the NBA Today, but when they start putting more of him on here and two other guys, I stopped watching it. It's just when guys just talk to be talking. They look at stats, and that's all they base a lot of things on instead of the body of work that people do. Allen Iverson was a beast. He's the same player that you see from Cleveland Cavaliers to, what's the difference in him and De'Aaron Fox? You know what I mean? Allen Iverson's a better shooter than De'Aaron Fox. What's the difference in him and any of the guards in Cleveland.
What's there between him and Kyrie?
Yes, and Kyrie got a little bit better handles, though. I will give Kyrie that. But my whole point is like, dude, it's just sometimes when I listen to him, I'm like, who the fuck is giving him information? What is he basing it off on? Don't get me wrong. Sometimes he has some valid points, but this point is so out of bounds that he need to, do a public apology or something, because it's just bad.
Have we seen the shots that Luka has taken before? Have we seen some of the shots? We talk about how great Luka is, and he is. He really is. And he's one of the faces of this league. But have we seen some of the shots Luka has taken? Have we seen some of the shots a lot of these guys have taken this year? Because everybody want to be like who? Everybody want to be like Steph Curry. Everybody want to be able to shoot.
I totally forgot about the guy sitting across the street in Atlanta.
Oh, Trey. Yeah.
Trey.
I was just going to say the same thing, though, about Steph. Even though he is the greatest shooter of all time, you will see Steph chuck up a shot, and I'll go, what is he doing? And it goes in.
He's
the
exception.
Thank God that went in.
He's the exception.
Yeah, but everybody, like you said, everybody's trying to be Steph. I would argue 100% in line with what you're saying, B. Iverson might fit better in today's NBA than he did in his era of the NBA.
Can't touch anybody.
What are we doing? What is he talking about?
He might be Rob, to your point, he might be a better player.
Yeah,
he might be a better, because you can't hand check him, you can't hit him, you can't touch him. He might be better in today's NBA.
That mug be averaging 42 points, man.
Without
Allen
even
Iverson,
trying.
And think about this. He's able to carry and travel. Oh, that's
my
10
God.
extra points for him.
Get it. At the extra step. Oh.
Allen Iverson got a longer list of injuries. His injury list is longer than a CVS receipt. There's no way in the world that he possibly has even half of those injuries if he played in today's league. Why? Because you can't touch him.
You can't hit him.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hit him. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. There's
That's
something.
a big fat fail for Windhorst on that one.
Dude, hardcore, man. Like, what are you talking about? For someone who is an NBA expert, that is some bullshit. Do you think that, and I agree with this one too, I don't necessarily need to play the audio for you, but Kevin Garnett thinks they screwed up the 40,000 point game because they didn't stop the game, get the ball, get the shoes, get the jersey. And let me just play the clip for you so it has some context, but I think he's got a pretty good point here.
Lord, they didn't do the 40,000 right. Nike supposed to been on the side with shoes. He's supposed to come out with 40,000, Lord.
The 40,000 kicks?
Lord, you supposed to have
40,000 pair.
Sotheby's supposed to be at the game. I'm supposed to be on the side, and I'm supposed to be in here like I'm finna rip. As soon as you hit 40,000, I was supposed to take all this shit off. Take this off, take these off, let me get the shoe. Come on, Lord, you know the league. Halftime. When they had our fucking All-Star jerseys, bro, you had to take the jersey off and put on a whole new jersey. You know why? Because they had already auctioned your shit off.
So he goes on to say, there will be, obviously, a LeBron James display at the Hall of Fame in Massachusetts. And how the shoes and the jersey and the ball and all the pieces of the 40,000 point mark aren't going to be there for that, because we don't know if he gets further. We don't know if there's another milestone he crosses. But that one was iconic in the sense that nobody's ever done it before. And the fact that all of his gear wasn't pulled off of him the minute that happened is a shortcoming by the NBA. And I think he's got a good point there, actually.
Well, I'm going to say this. First of all, we all know LeBron James, right? And I'm gonna speak from my point of view. If I score 40,000 points, you ain't getting my gear. No. I'm keeping it for myself because that's something I did.
Does the NBA have a say in that, though?
I don't know if they do or not, but think about it. As many times the players give away jerseys, I'm keeping all my shit. And, think about, I just watched Emmitt Smith talking about when he got ready to break the rush. He changed uniforms like 4 times. He changed shoes like 4 times. So everybody got a uniform, but his is different because of the quarters. But if I'm LeBron James, LeBron James is very superstitious when it comes to like changing his uniforms. I ain't giving up shit because at the end of the day, you got to keep something for your shrine, your own personal shrine. And LeBron has one. back in Cleveland, you're not thinking like, this is what I scored 40,000 points in. That's bringing extra money to his pocket when people come to his museum or his shrine or whatever his memorial and come see it. That's money for his foundation. LeBron probably says, fuck y'all, get away from me. I'm keeping my own shit.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see both sides. Obviously, from the league history standpoint and a Naismith standpoint. But yeah, somebody as big as LeBron James, he was like, if they even tried, and I'm not saying that they didn't, because eventually you take the jersey and shorts and everything off.
Yeah.
So, but I'm pretty sure when he was taking that off at some point in time, a league rep probably came to him or somebody probably got in contact with somebody and said, hey, they want your stuff. And LeBron probably said, hell no.
Yeah.
And my thing is, if LeBron James says no,
exactly.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, then that's how it's going to go. Right. That's how it's going to go. I get it.
What you going to do about it?
No, nothing you can do. But I mean, I know that these leagues, a lot of times, especially Major League Baseball, loves to step in and go, oh, you just broke a record? Great. Ball's coming out of play. Let's take the jersey off. Let's get the shoes.
Now, they probably did get the ball.
Let's get the bat. I would imagine. I didn't see them take the ball out of play, though. I figured as soon as that bucket went down, it was going to be, boop, official timeout, ball comes out of play.
I don't think you do an official timeout for that. I disagree because that's disrespecting the other team. You let the flow of the game keep going. If you want to give it to them, you give it to them at a timeout.
Or whenever there's a stop and play.
Or a stoppage of play. You don't just because he happens. That's a disrespect to the game.
I don't know, man.
But also, and people always talk about that's going to go in the Hall of Fame. I think sometimes people forget the Basketball Hall of Fame is not the NBA Hall of Fame. It's not about what happened in the NBA. So I don't think Hall of Fame has nothing to do with it. It's like, so that's why I think also LeBron says, this is my shit. People forget Hall of Fame is for your career in that sport, not just at the professional level. It's throughout your career. Okay. And so for me, I think LeBron's keeping all this shit for himself because you think about his place in Cleveland that he has, where he has his bedroom in there. You're not gonna think he's not gonna put his 40,000 point uniform in there. So nobody's getting that shit.
It's not like when he passed up Kareem.
Yeah,
because that was a standing record for forever,
long time. Yeah,
right. And so you're gonna stop the game because Kareem is there. I think Kareem was there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was there.
Kareem was there.
Ball.
Yeah, that's right. So Kareem, you have to stop play then, just because of Kareem's there. You got to get the pictures. You got to give him his standing ovation. You have to, but for 40,000, it's a new level. But I don't think you stop gameplay. For that.
Okay. We had a women's basketball fight this week.
Ooh, I loved it.
Holy cow. It got ugly though.
Yeah.
Is it Flaugier? Flaugier Johnson got shoved to the floor during the SEC women's SEC championship game.
She's a hell of a player, man. A hell of a singer, a hell of a rapper. She got a lot of talent, man.
Which is funny because when I was looking up stuff on her online, I got all the music kicked back to me. And I'm like, did I search the wrong name? And I'm like, oh, no, she's got music. She's got all kinds of shit out there.
So last year at the Hall of Fame, College Football Hall of Fame here downtown Atlanta, they had the first annual NIL Summit where a lot of, players in college came out, did seminars, and a lot of companies. Flaugier was there. It was a 2-night event. She performed the first night and had everybody just going. She performed her music. She's a real dope person, a lot of energy. She is as advertised.
Yeah.
Well, that was ugly because she got shoved to the floor in the middle of that scuffle.
Yeah.
Lucky she didn't get seriously hurt because it didn't look pretty. And then her brother went to jail. Trayron Milton.
Oh, yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
He charged the court. He came over the scorer's table in the middle of the fight. And
he needed to be in the Olympics or something, how quick he did.
Dude, he was over that table in a flash, man. I didn't even realize, I'm like, are they pulling a man off the floor? What the hell is going on? Like, and then people just immediately, it was a fan. Oh, we got a fan on the floor. And I'm like, when I went back and read it, no, it was her brother, man. He wasn't.
And his two boys, I don't know if it was his brothers or his boys, they tried to come over too, but give it up to the security, man. They were on that shit. Those other two dudes, they weren't as nimble as he was. They said, get your asses back up in the stands. And then the police were there. Even the cop that was behind him, though, he hurdled the sideline just like he did. Was right there. Come on, dude, let's go. We ain't trying to have this.
They're
But
quick.
yeah, to think about it, you got two tough teams like this playing. I had never seen a women's game that was so much shit was being talked during
Holy
the game.
cow, dude! The whole
goodness.
game was chippy.
It was a good game.
Yeah.
You got two talented teams like that. USC trying to fight for not losing a game. Look, they haven't lost a game in 758, something crazy like regular. It's some crazy stat they hadn't lost.
Yeah.
Perfect in back-to-back seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, like, one, Flage's brother hopping down, once his sister hit the floor, that was instinct. Now, I'm not shooting him any bail whatsoever, but Flage, not, no pun intended, but Flage going to have to bail him out. And she got enough money in NIL to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's instinct. That's just like when you back in the neighborhood and somebody pushed your sibling down.
Oh, yeah.
You run over and handle things. So if for a split second, he just thought, he forgot where he was, but he's going to be at home now because not only was he arrested, but he may not be able to be at the tournament at all.
Oh, yeah. No.
But Kim Mulkey, head coach of LSU, to see the distinct differences in the post-game conferences between Kim Mulkey and Dawn Staley.
Big difference.
I love Kim Mulkey.
Here's my problem with Kim Mulkey.
Go ahead. I love her.
And a lot of this is coming from the fact that she
and her sweaters.
Yeah, never mind.
Go ahead.
She keep getting knocked upside the head she ain't beat South Carolina forever.
Oh no.
Did she keep? And what it is when she said she wished it was Angel Reese that the girl would have pushed.
Yeah.
Only reason you feel like that, Kim, is because you can't beat South Carolina. You ain't been able to beat South Carolina. And you feel a way because the way that you approach that is not the way that you, a head coach and the leader of a team, is supposed to approach that.
Of course not.
Dawn Staley, the way she approached it is the way that that's supposed to be approached.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. I think when I saw her comments when she said you would have been Angela Reese. First of all, you acting like she was like she could have pushed what's the white girl with the braids. She ran up on her and she didn't push her. But it was I appreciate what the girl from South Carolina did, but you should did you can't really do it like that because she saw the elbow go up in her teammate's face, and so she ran over to handle it, like the enforcer, like what Draymond would have done.
Yeah.
And so everybody's getting mad at her, but nobody gets mad at. You look at the game. Reese elbowed her. Calderon, I know the tall chick.
Yeah,
elbowed her in the mouth, bust the lip open. You don't say, and she handled that. I guess it could have been a buildup of stuff, but then when you elbow your teammate in the face for no reason, during a timeout, she lost it. I think for her it was a buildup of stuff through that game from getting elbowed, pushed, and all the shit talking that was going on. But I hate that she's going to be suspended for the first game. But good thing is South Carolina. Good thing they have won games without her, because I'm a huge Dawn Staley fan. I love her to death. I have the pleasure of knowing her, and you're exactly right, B. The way she handled that in the press conference, the way she apologized to the fans, because that's not USC basketball and that's not what goes on. But so I think she gained a lot more love and support. So I thank you, Dawn.
Sidebar to get away from some of the seriousness. You have the pleasure of knowing one Dawn Staley, you said, correct?
Yeah.
We would like to have the pleasure of knowing some of these people as well. On the Big Shot Bob podcast.
I will reach out to Dawn. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that would
be during the off season.
I was going to say she's going to be rolling up into a tournament in a second.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It'd be even better once they win the national title again.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So cool.
Mm-hmm.
So you have another multiple national title winning coach on the Big Shot Bob podcast, and that would be great. And we could all have the pleasure of being acquainted.
You know what's weird about me? I forget the people that I know. So until we start talking about them.
Yeah, I would forget Dawn Staley too. Yeah, one of the greatest coaches in college basketball history. Yeah, I'm gonna forget
casually.
I don't mean it like that, man. I don't mean it like that. She Dawn. It was weird because the first person my pops passed, the first person I reached out to was Dawn, and she was like, because I knew she knew some people that helped me sell my dad's house. And before that, she just said, whenever you come to South Carolina, you and your dad come by a game. So Dawn, when I say one of the sweetest, nicest people that you can meet, that's Dawn Staley. Yeah,
Okay.
and she cares about her teammates. Her teammates when she played in WNBA, her players now as a coach, great human being.
I do find your sidebar adorable, though. We've had this conversation with Rob for 3 years now. He sits next to James Worthy 2-3 nights a week, and James ain't never been on the show. So
I thought we had James on the show.
We've never had James on the show.
Okay, I get James
Never
on
had
the show
James
then.
on. Never had him on. Maybe when the playoffs hit.
I know we're not doing NFL right now, but can I give
go
you
ahead.
some news?
Go ahead. Go do it. Do what you would do.
So we all know who Derrick Henry is.
Of course.
I've been waiting on this one.
What happened?
Derrick Henry signs a 2-year, $16 million deal. It could be worth up to $20 million with the Baltimore Ravens.
The Ravens.
But didn't they just sign another running back?
They
No.
just had somebody, didn't they?
Both their running backs are free agents. Gus Edwards went to the Chargers, and I don't know where J.K. Dobbins is going. They needed a running back.
I thought they had somebody.
I thought they just signed somebody too.
Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
I
Running back?
knew he was going to go to the Ravens.
Everybody thought he was going to the Cowboys.
No, I thought he was going to the Ravens because I know he was trying to trade for him during the offseason. I mean, during the trade period. So I just knew he'd end up at the Ravens.
Yeah. NFL is nuts right now.
That's a big get for
NFL
Lamar
is
Jackson.
nuts. Saquon Barkley in Philly
Yeah,
Yeah.
starting shit with Tiki Barber.
that's funny.
Tiki goes, "You're dead to me." Saquon's like, "Fuck, what? What are you talking about, man?" You go ahead.
And Giants fans don't even like Tiki Barber.
Oh no, hell no! They like Saquon Barkley way more than they like Tiki Barber. And he said to Tiki on Twitter, he was like, "Don't come around, come smile in my face and shake my hand next time you see me, motherfucker."
I think Josh Jacobs said it the best though. It's so funny, I've said this a lot, how teams and fans want the players to be loyal to the team, but at the end of the day, the team is not in the same way when it comes to the players. They're not loyal to the players, so don't be mad at the player. Be mad at the team because the team had plenty of time to pay a player, resolve whatever issues there were, but don't be mad at the player. Let them do what they need to do to keep their careers going.
And speaking of Josh Jacobs, your Alabama boy got a $48 million deal to go to the Packers.
I know.
So he is now the lead back in a very young and promising offense up there in Green Bay.
They gonna be
Jordan
good
Love,
too.
Yeah, no, they're gonna be all right for a year or two, man. They're gonna have some pieces.
Also,
I'm happy for the Steelers. I want them to do good.
Russ.
Man.
Or Russ.
Russ. So
yeah.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's a lot going on.
a lot.
What did you guys think of the Kirk deal? Briefly, Kirk Cousins signs the 4-year. Was it $180 with the Falcons?
Yeah, but 100 guaranteed.
Yeah, 100 guaranteed.
I don't understand how I know this day and age and the technology and the knowledge we have of rehab. I just don't know if I can give him that much money coming off an Achilles tear though.
You're not paying him for his body of work or coming off. You're paying him for stability at the quarterback position, which Atlanta has not had since Matt Ryan left. That's what you're paying him for.
Yeah.
And ever since Kirk Cousins finished ever since he was tagged for the last time when he was in Washington, Kirk Cousins has been a money-making magnet. His agent is phenomenal.
Yep.
Why? Because he's been a quarterback that's been able to hit the free agent market a couple of times and been able to cash in. Arthur Blank knows that if I don't want to start over and if I don't really want to go young and I want a veteran quarterback to go with my young talent, I got to pay. Kirk Cousins know that too.
If I'm Atlanta, I'm not even gonna lie. I'd have been waiting for Fields to see what's gonna go on with that situation because I think you put Fields with that crew. I like that matchup a little better. And I don't know shit about football, but I'm just saying I look at the talent that's in Atlanta, and they're all young. I see Kirk Cousins playing about 2-3 more years, but you get Fields, you got like 7-8 more years, hopefully. So I just think a lot of teams probably. If I'm a team, I'm waiting on to see what happens with that situation in Chicago.
Well, that's dwindling because all the teams that were linked to Fields, most of them already have a quarterback. Look at Pittsburgh. Went to get Russ.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Atlanta, you have Kurt. So it just depends on the asking price for Chicago. For Fields is dwindling.
Yeah.
So now they're in this waiting pattern to see. Imagine if he could go. He could go from potentially being a starter to now a backup. Like Justin Fields could be a backup.
Yeah, very easily. Well, I mean, when all your landing spots are gone.
Yeah. Who became the quarterback in New England?
They're looking for one.
Yeah, I think they need somebody. Because then they just trade Mac?
They trade Mac.
He's the backup in Jacksonville now.
Yeah, that's right, Jacksonville.
Now, they just signed Jacoby Brissett, but he's not – they're going to end up drafting a quarterback. They got to draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
They got to draft a lot of pieces. New England needs a lot. All right, let's do Big Shot of the Week real quick and then our game. Big Shot of the Week is going to go to 5-year-old Christopher Bess. He's known as Coach CB. Yes, he's 5 years old. Have you seen Coach CB?
Yes, I've seen CB.
I think I have.
I love this kid. He went viral this week for his I coach my whole butt off pregame speech that he gives to his dad's team. His dad's a coach. Here's the speech.
I coach my whole butt. I coach my whole butt off. Do it, man. When I say I coach my whole butt off, I say I coach my whole butt off. There you go. When I coach my whole butt off, I never played your whole butt off. There you go.
His dad, Reginald, is the coach of the Tarboro High School varsity boys basketball team in North Carolina. And his whole, I coach my whole butt off, and when I coach my whole butt off, we play our whole butts off. His little speech has gone viral, and they call him Coach CB, which is hysterical. Coach CB. And he's 5.
And I guarantee you he's going to be a coach. He's going to be a hell of a coach down the line.
Oh, hell yeah, he is.
It's in his bloodline. You never know. He might become a hell of a player because he already knows the ins and outs of coaching. So
tell you, man. Who was the best coach you had for pregame speeches? Who gave the best? Did you ever have a good coach who gave a good hype speech? Nobody gave a good hype speech?
Mm-mm.
Rudy never gave you guys a good hype speech?
Mm-mm.
Well, I know Phil did. Phil just burned sage and do yoga.
Nobody really gives it. It's like, I don't even think coaches give hype speeches before.
You ain't getting, oh man, that's the.
I don't think so.
All right.
I think Wimp, if I have to give someone a title, I'll do Wimp.
Okay. All right.
Because in college, sometimes you need that hype, you know?
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's play this game. This week's game. The name of this game.
I'm not smarter than the 5th grade.
No, it's basically what it is. I called it 5th grade cognition, and here's where it comes from. My daughter's a 5th grader. She brought home like these they're like little riddles, but they're meant to challenge critical thinking. So like if you think about it, you can kind of figure it out.
Gotcha.
We struggled like hell with these. My wife and I struggled like hell, and I wanted to see if you guys could do better than we did because we did not do so great. So these are just basic little like riddles that a 5th grader is supposed to be able to solve by thinking it through. We'll see if you guys can figure these out. Number 1, you were captured, and you had to choose where you'd stay on your own for 3 weeks to survive. Okay. Option 1 is a desert full of cacti. Option 2 is a sunny field with a glass of water. Option 3 is a beach under stormy skies. Where could you survive for 3 weeks?
You said this is a riddle?
Yeah, no, this is just like it's sort of a riddle, but not really. It's like it's a cognition test. You have to think through and figure out, of those 3 places, where could you survive for 3 weeks? A desert full of cacti, a sunny field with flowers and one glass of water, or a beach under stormy skies?
I would probably go desert full of cacti because water is in the cacti.
Okay.
And obviously you can go, I mean, there's food there. You have to be able to hunt. Be careful what you're eating. But you can go how long without eating? 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's about 3 weeks.
But you can only go a few days without water.
This is true. Okay.
I'm taking the beach with stormy skies because you didn't say if I wasn't in a house or a hut or wherever I was.
Oh,
so
that's smart.
This beach, I could be in a resort with stormy skies. So I'm taking the beach with stormy skies.
You're not, but you have the right answer, but I'm going to tell you why. You can drink rainwater.
I know, and you can drink rainwater.
And that took us forever to. I'm like, why? Why is it the beach? What? Oh, those storms. You can drink the rainwater. And by the way, water in a cactus is poisonous. I learned that.
Is it?
Yes, I didn't know that.
when you said stormy skies, it be stormy skies. I don't mean it's raining. So
this is true. But yeah, that was what it was. It was rainwater from the storm. All right, number 2. You're lost in the woods in the middle of the winter. You happen upon an abandoned cabin. There's a candle, and then there's a pile of wood in the fireplace. You pull out your matchbook. Which one do you light first?
Say that one more time.
All right, so there's a candle, and there's a pile of firewood in the fireplace. You pull out a matchbook. Which do you light first?
I light the candle first.
Yeah, I'm gonna light the candle first.
You're both wrong. You light the match first.
Oh, man.
Which, again, I did the same thing. I'm like, light the fire in the fireplace, get the fire going. I can at least stay warm. You have to light the match to light the fire. I was like, son of a bitch.
Light the match and light the candle.
Bitch. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Again, it's meant to challenge critical thinking. All right, number 3.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
This one I didn't get. My daughter figured this out. I could not. Mark and James, 2 boys, were playing in a dark, dirty attic. When they came downstairs, Mark's face was dirty and covered in dust. James's face was clean. But it was James who went to wash his face and not Mark. Why? So 2 boys come down. For the sake of not using names, we'll use name boy 1, boy 2. Mm-hmm. Boy 1's face is dirty and covered in soot. Boy 2's face perfectly clean. But it's boy 2 that goes to wash his face. Why? I could smell the wood burning from the fire we lit on the previous question as everyone tries to think.
Jeez. Boy.
It's not even that hard, and I wanted to kick myself when I heard the answer.
When they came downstairs.
So boy 1, his face is all dirty.
Could Mark wash his face before he came downstairs?
No, it's not it. They both came downstairs. One boy's face was dirty. One boy's face was clean. It was the boy with the clean face that went to wash his face. Why?
Oh, yeah. Because they was in a dark attic and he didn't know if his face was dirty or not. So he went because he saw his friend's face dirty, so he thought his face was dirty.
Rob figured it out. Yep. He came downstairs and he looked at his friend, and his friend is all dirty. So he went to the bathroom to wash his face. Meanwhile, dirty friend looked at the other kid. His face was clean. He assumed, I must be clean. We're fine.
Yeah.
They just looked at each other. That was the freaking answer. They looked at each other.
Okay.
I know. We always, because as adults, we go the long fucking road. Okay? We go the longest road possible.
I had to read it and break it down in my mind. I'm like, okay, you came down. It's dark. That means you can't see. It's dirty. Okay, I come down. I'm just going to assume because your face is dirty, my face is dirty, so I'm going to wash my face.
Absolutely, and that's absolutely the right answer.
Yeah.
All right, number 4. 2 people were born at the same moment, but they don't celebrate their birthdays on the same day. How's that possible? They were born at the exact same moment, but they don't celebrate their birthdays on the same day.
Born at the same moment, but they don't celebrate their birthdays on the same day.
Oh, that one just seems like it's so simple because it's like they're born at the same moment, but they don't celebrate the same day. Because hell, one of them is busy. Like one of them is busy, so they can't celebrate. They don't know each other, so they ain't got to celebrate on the same day.
Is that an answer?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he was just trying to talk.
No, it's not. He's talking himself into an answer that he's made up.
I'm talking myself into an answer.
He's talking himself into an answer.
Same moment, but they don't celebrate their birthdays on the same day.
Oh,
Rob figured it out.
Is this one of those ones where one is dead?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
Rob's getting out of every question by one of them's dead now. 2 boys didn't wash their face because one of them's dead.
That's what I said.
Is it they were when it comes to the same moment, can it be at the
I don't know about that.
I feel like you're inching in.
You can be born at the same time, but just a different day.
Yeah, you can be born at 11:59. I can be born at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, like if I'm born, you may.
I feel like you're so close, and you're going to kick yourself when you hear the answer.
I just feel as though when you're born at the same, you can be born at the same moment, just on different days, or different.
Or you can be born at the same moment in two different places of the world entirely.
Hey man, cut this thing.
See?
Yeah.
And not even hard, right?
Yeah.
You're like, shit, I'm an idiot. How did I not get that?
Different time
I was
zones.
close.
Different time zones, different
Yeah.
parts of the world.
Time
They're
zones.
not even on the same day, but the same moment. So, all right, we'll do one more here because this is just hurting everybody's brain in ways I didn't anticipate. You're trapped in a room that is slowly filling with water. There's no way out. There's no way to turn off the water. You do have three things. You have a straw, you have a rope, and you have a bucket. Which of those three things can help you survive? So the room is slowly filling with water. There's no way out. You can't turn the water off.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly filling. You have a straw, you have a rope, and you have a bucket. Which one of those can help you survive until help arrives?
I'm going to go with bucket.
Okay.
Care to explain?
Well,
No.
I feel like, you know what we explain? Okay, I want to explain.
No, but if you can
Don't let him
explain.
answer for you.
Well, I feel like, depending on certain buckets, like you can put the bucket around the hole and it will force the water from back or either stop it from coming in wherever the room is. I don't know. That's just what I came up with.
I like this. I like the idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's not right, but I like the idea. Well, here's the thing.
But
I'll tell
I
you.
leave you with two answers, B. Yeah, I took one.
No. I'm not saying that you're wrong entirely. I'm saying your logic isn't right.
Oh. I'm taking the bucket.
Part of me,
Two pieces of bucket, so fuck it.
part of me wants to say straw.
Okay.
Because it's the simplest out of all of them.
Well, it's almost kind of like, I don't know, and I may be completely wrong with this, but my mind is just churning and I have no oil and it's squeaking.
I hear the gears just grinding. Yeah.
It almost is kind of like, I would look at it almost kind of like scuba diving, where you're breathing through your mouth
Okay.
and not through your nose.
Okay.
And I think you can hold on through breathing through your mouth underwater for a while until somebody can come.
So what happens when the room fills up?
Well, hell.
You die. It's a similar. Rob had it 2 questions ago. No, I'm kidding. The answer is, by the way, the bucket.
Oh.
Do you know why? Obviously, we don't.
Oh.
Who says you have to hold a bucket the right side up? What happens when you turn a bucket upside down? Catches all the air inside it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Put your head right up in that bucket, and the water just goes right around you. You know how, like, you turn a bucket upside
I know
down,
what
you
you
push
said.
it underwater, captures the air inside it?
Yeah.
Wait.
I thought about that too.
Well, hold on.
What do you mean, hold on? That's the truth, brother. He's doing the physical math. Now, if the bucket is upside down...
Hey, he can go jump in the pool with a bucket right now.
Go and get your ass in the pool. Go get your ass in the pool. We'll prove it's right. Go jump in the pool.
Oh. Come on, we gotta have one more. Gotta have one more.
You want one more? I got two
One
more.
more. Yeah.
I got two
Thank
more.
you.
They're making everybody's brain hurt, I feel like. All right.
It's making me think.
It's making you think a little bit.
Again,
They're making us use this brain
these
for
were
other
questions
video
given
games.
to 5th graders, by the way. All right, let's do this one. Mike was standing on a 100-foot ladder painting his house. A gust of wind came along, knocked him off the ladder, but after the fall, he was perfectly fine. Why?
That one, you can answer that one so easily. That one just.
Oh, Rob knows this one. I like it.
Yes, I know this one.
All right, let's see if
I'm
he
gonna
can
let
get
B
it.
Must have
go.
heard it.
No, I haven't heard this, but this is just. It's like when he says, like, I'm gonna say, "Hey, go knock down that door." If I tell you, I bet you I can knock down that door behind me right now.
Okay. Let's see if
You
B
should
can
know this
figure
from.
it out.
Yeah, B, figure this one out. Come on now.
Mike is standing on a 100-foot ladder painting his house when a gust of wind comes along, knocks him off the ladder. But after the fall, he was okay. How can that be?
He wasn't all the way up the 100-foot ladder. Well, you said he was. Well, you said he was painting his house. You didn't say what aspect of his house he was painting. Am I wrong,
Rob?
You could be standing on a 100-foot ladder anyway. You could be on step 1, 2, 3.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, look at you guys.
That's what I said.
That's a combined one brain cell. That's good stuff right there.
He was not. He didn't have to be all. The ladder could be 100 feet, but it had to be at the top.
I didn't say it was the top of the ladder. He was just on
matter
the
of fact,
ladder.
the ladder could have been on the ground on the side.
Yeah, it couldn't even have been against the house. He could have been standing on it, painting his house. That's absolutely right.
Just like I said, if you go over here, I can knock down this door. You start knocking at the top, knock all the way down.
Knock
the door.
all the way down.
Yeah, knock down the door.
You guys did okay, I think.
All right, I got one for you right here.
Oh, go ahead. Now, I'm going to tell you, by the way, I got like 1 out of like 10 of these questions right. So, go ahead.
How many seconds are in a year?
A lot. I mean, are you asking me to do math?
You need like an exact number?
How many seconds are in a year? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How many seconds are in a year? Dude, that's math. I'm not, my brain, I was told no math on this
I
show.
don't know. It's like 60,000 something.
Yeah, something like that.
And 12. January 2nd. February 2nd.
Oh, you fucking asshole. You're such an asshole.
You got to be the dumbest motherfucker.